Today is the day that Renee has been looking forward to for some time. Today is one of those days where you think this new world can't get any better, and it does. Yesterday was the last day that they had to eat old world processed food full of chemicals to help preserve the food. The chemicals were a good thing at the time, allowing the food to last long enough for the crops to grow and be harvested. But today the brothers and sisters would get to enjoy the first fruits, their first true New World meal, food grown from the ground that Jehovah has blessed. For Renee, it's something else he'll soon enjoy forgetting, the taste of unnatural canned vegetables and processed pastas and so-called fruit cocktails. When Renee sat down at the dining table, he couldn't believe what he saw when they brought the carts full of food in. They looked almost like a cartoon, their colors were so vibrant. And the size of them! Not quite as large as the fruit the Israelites found, but not too much smaller. After the prayer was offered, Reginald came over and asked to sit down next to Renee. Of course, the brother sitting next to him obliged and found another seat. "Hey, Reg, how's the stomach?" Renee asked with a sly grin after he gave Reginald a hug, since they haven't seen each other in quite some time.
"Happy, Renee. Very happy. Nothing but good smells now. Renee, you should see it. The land after Jehovah blessed it is like he gave it steroids."
Renee chuckled.
"Man, we planted some corn, zucchini, tomatoes, and lettuce in certain fields, and the stuff came up like bamboo. I mean literally like bamboo. You could hear the stuff growing. I was wondering where those crackling noises were coming from, and it was the plants. It's only going to be that way until the cleanup work is done and people can start building farms on their own properties."
"How wise Jehovah is," Renee mused. "I look at how many farms were being used and wondered how enough food would be produced for everyone. Now I see. This way we can have as many people as possible working on cleaning up the earth."
Man, I miss these conversations. Renee, why don't you come work with me on the farm? I miss working with you. I almost went back to doing cleanup again. Almost. I think you'll really enjoy doing this work.
"I miss it too, Reg, but I really like what I'm doing here. Seeing the progress of areas going from looking like disaster movies to nice open country. It gives me a real feeling of satisfaction. I'm contributing to paradise. I feel even better than I did when I used to fantasize about the new world."
Oh, I'm not asking you to make a permanent switch in your work. Just come on over for one growing season. You see how short it is? Plus, I know you're curious as to how everything works, and I know you want to see what I was just talking about. Believe me, we'll find something that you really enjoy over there. And the work's not going to collapse because they lost 2 workers.
2 workers, Reg? I know you think I work hard, but...
I was talking about you and our friend.
Reginald interrupted with his own mischievous smile. He looked over at the gentleman that was sitting next to Renee.
"You haven't even touched your food. You were so into what we were talking about. So since you're so interested, I think you should come see what we're doing too."
The man emphatically thanked Reginald and quickly introduced himself to them. His name is Ibrahim. He is from Afghanistan. He managed to get into Europe during the refugee crisis. There he saw his first JW cart. He was fascinated with it, but didn't dare grab anything with his brethren looking on. So he committed the titles on the cart to memory and decided to look them up later. He was later hired as a cruise ship worker and was in the United States when everything went haywire. He knew that this was not what his religion had predicted, so he decided to pray to whatever God was out there to listen to show him the way. To his surprise, he got an answer. Urges overwhelmed him, and as he followed them, he arrived at a house. The occupants were surprised to see him and didn't answer the door until he used Jehovah's name. There he was, sheltered from Armageddon, along with everyone else in the house. After it was over, he shocked the residents of the house by telling them he didn't expect to survive. He thought it was too late. He just wanted to know who the true God was and let him know I tried before he was killed. Now he just wants to earn his place in the new world. Renee mused that his attitude will be adjusted as he gets closer to perfection and continues learning about Jehovah. After marveling at the rate of growth all the crops have, and seeing how much better these farms operate than the large-scale farms of the old world, Renee finally found his niche. Now he wondered if he would return to the cleanup work. He found that he had a knack for the farm machinery. He loved repairing the equipment and even had some ideas on improving them. Reginald became an operator of some of the harvesters, and Renee would ride along with him, making sure it was running smoothly. He could tell by ear if something was off. This was so much better than his old world job where he just sold the equipment. He also noticed that there were many other temporary workers coming in. Everyone was so excited about the farming program, they've been inviting their friends. As a result, more and more people are learning about farming, a skill that will be needed in the future. An unintended consequence, but a good one, and an excellent example of how good human society is under the governance of the King Jesus Christ and the 144,000. Time flew by for Renee and Reginald. Ibrahim turned out to be a master at masonry. He had a very good artistic flair. The brothers kept his contact information and told him that when the construction on the Grand Temple to Jehovah is started, they're going to call him, and he needs to drop what he's doing and come work on the temple. What a privilege he has. Now another convention is called. Everyone is to meet at the coast at their designated areas. This involves quite a bit of travel for some. Renee and Reginald wonder what's going on, especially since when they get there, they can see dozens of cruise ships. They look at Ibrahim, and he shrugs his shoulders and says,
Don't look at me. I only work on those things.
They eagerly look forward to their next trinket of good news.